Gadget addiction is a problem, and we are looking for a solution to that. How do we get a solution? Many of us try different ways, stopping our children, right? Maybe turning off the Wi-Fi, maybe snatching the gadgets, trying different thing, and then many times it end up fighting with our children. For how many of you that has happened? Or even now, some of you are experiencing that. Yes. So we will look at it holistically. We are not going to look at typically, the way things are looked at. Okay, this is the problem. Let's resolve it. We'll go deeper. We'll understand the concept, and we see how we can the impact of gadgets. Right? We need to keep various factors in mind before we conclude or whatever that we are going to do. Right? Now, first thing that is there. Generally, what I have observed, parents they tend to develop a resistance to gadget usage. Now, if you do not understand in the present times, you have to allow your kids to use gadget, right? But many of you develop the resistance, and even when you are not aware what the child is doing, the moment you see your child using gadget, you react, and that may create problem. You have no idea what the child is using it for, what purpose. And in many cases we may be feeling pressure or negativity because of something else, and where does it come out? In gadgets, right? We end up reacting. So first thing that is required for you to do is to embrace technology. It is future. Or rather, let me put it, this is present. This is no longer future. This is present. You have to accept it for the betterment of your children's future. Right? Children, you need to understand they are intrinsically, it is there inbuilt in us. Intrinsically, we all want to grow as human beings. Even your child want to grow. So your first assumption that is there, if the child is on gadget, means the child is wasting time. You need to get rid of that thought. Children, when they are born, they don't know how to waste time. Right? That is our assumption. You need to be clear about it. Now, studies, and we are obsessed with it. Our fear that child may lag behind. Without realizing the child is learning at his own pace. And the child is always learning. This is again that we need to understand. Whatever the child is doing, the child is learning. Child is getting exposure. Child is experimenting with things. A lot of good things that are happening, which you need to acknowledge, understand. So your reaction to anything is not good. Please avoid that. You are complicating things if you are reacting to gadgets. Stop doing that. And then what will happen if you are reacting to gadget, the child will also develop some kind of resistance to it. Now, how will it be visible? Will the child stop using gadget? The chances are less. However, there is a possibility the child will end up wasting more time on gadgets. In that case, rather than utilizing the time to learn better things, because your mind is, when your mind is negative, you do more of wastage of time rather than utilizing. The same thing happens here also. I do not want you to assume just the moment you look at your child holding a gadget in his hand that perhaps the child is wasting time. Don't think like that. Right? Now, this particular session, one of the main objective is not about stopping the child from using the gadget, but it is to have, the child should have self-discipline. Right? It's about having the self-discipline, and that is something which is going to be effective. If you somehow manage to enforce or impose your will on the child, it is not going to be effective in long run. And that is not going to be good. Even today, many of you are struggling because of gadget. You are addicted to gadgets. You know this is not right for you, but you are using it excessively because that sense of responsibility, that yes, you need to be self-disciplined, that was never cultivated or inculcated in you when you were a child. Today you are struggling, and now the same thing if you do with your children, they will be struggling when they grow up. Hence, it becomes important for us that we, rather than imposing or restricting their gadget usage, let's get them you having self discipline so that it comes from within and you do not have to push for it, you do not have to repeatedly remind them